So, what is the general warning for bank feeds? That's a really, really good question. No, it's nothing scary like, people stealing your information or anything like that, but it is a little bit complicated, and I want to just dive right in. So, I'm going to start with kind of the 75,000-foot view of what bank feeds are. So, bank feeds essentially are a connector that connects your bank account or your credit card account with your accounting system. Okay. And what that does is it allows you to basically in real time or every day or every week or every month, whatever the schedule is for your particular application, is to get in transactions into your system so you can match those to things like bills and receipts and payments and all of that good stuff. And bank feeds are like probably the best thing since sliced bread in accounting. I'm just going to throw that out there because it saves a ton of time at the end of the month to reconcile. You can pull in your statements, you can reconcile your accounts very, very easily. It is genuinely probably one of the best technological advancements, I would say, of this decade, last 10 years, something like that. But there is something that I want people to be aware of because a lot of times we either run into customers or we have, prospects who, their biggest gripe is that they want to be able to have a reliable connection to their bank. Totally get it, 100%. I completely understand. Okay. However, I want to explain to you what the process is to get that transactional information from your bank account or your credit card account into your accounting solution because it's kind of complicated. So, depending on your accounting software, I personally would only choose a system that did not charge extra for bank feeds. So, Sage Intacct for Construction does not charge for bank feeds. You get them included, 200 bank feeds included with every tenant. That's as of December 22nd, 2022. Other platforms, they require you to pay for it. I don't know if I would pay for it. And the reason why is because the reliability. So reliability and connectability is totally dependent on your bank. So if you, like a lot of our customers, they have a local bank account. They like that local relationship for very, very valid reasons. You know, it's easier to get loans. It's easier to get funding for your business. If you've got your cash sitting in a local bank account, a lot of times, oddly enough, it doesn't even, it's a very, very, very quick process. If you're from a small town, you run a multi-million dollar operation to get, to get funding or a loan or have that relationship with the local, it's very, very important. Okay. But those local banks, sometimes they can be great. They're right on par with, from a technology standpoint with the rest of the industry. And sometimes they're not. So depending on your bank, that's what determines whether or not it can connect to your accounting solution. Your accounting solution does not have any say in that. That's totally your bank's call. But usability, that varies by developer. So whether or not the platform is rock solid within the actual accounting system is very dependent on the developer. In some cases, I've seen ERPs where all they do basically is they say, hey, we've got a new module. Congratulations, you can pay for it and start using it, right? Well, they just bought that module from somebody. They didn't develop that in-house or anything like that. So sometimes there's a third-party developer involved in bank feeds. There's a third-party developer involved in bank feeds, somebody outside of the software manufacturer, outside of the business partner that you have to talk to get those connected. I'd be very, very wary of that. You're going to kind of, drive your head against the wall or something like that. There's a saying there that it'll drive you nuts. The other factor is that you really just do your research. So if I wanted my bank feeds to be 110% reliable, I would find and research the bank that connects with Plaid. So we'll talk about Plaid in just a minute, but I'd find the bank that connects with Plaid, has the best relationship with Plaid, because that's the bank that is going to basically guarantee reliability, usability, connectivity every time. and I'd run my cash flow account through that bank. I don't care. I can have all my cash. I can have my millions of dollars, my hundreds of thousands, whatever it is. I can have all my cash sitting in my local bank account. I keep that relationship good because the funds are still there. The majority of my funds are still with them. My cash flow account gets changed to a national level bank. That way my connectivity is super rock solid, super reliable. So my staff can actually take advantage of the time and the resources that they'll save by using bank feeds. All right. And, because to give you an idea, thousands and thousands of banks over here, a handful of accounting solutions over here, and then you've got Plaid. Plaid is the intermediary. That is what your bank connects to Plaid. Plaid, it's like a handshake. Okay. And sometimes your bank is willing to cooperate with Plaid. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes Plaid's willing to cooperate with your bank. Sometimes it's not. And then on the ERP side, it's the same way. So you've got really three parties there. And if you have to get another developer involved, we've got a developer who made our bank feeds and they have to set it up, then you've got four parties involved if something goes wrong. So support on that level can take a lot longer. So if you go in to reconcile your bank accounts at the end of the month and all of a sudden they're not connected, well, you could be, you could be kind of stuck for a few days or maybe even a few weeks while all of the support mechanisms try to understand what is going on. So that's my warning about bank feeds. If you're looking to take full advantage of bank feeds, I'm not promoting a national bank. I'm not promoting destroying a local relationship with the local banks, but I am saying you really, really should consider your cash flow account to be at a national level bank. That way you can rely on connectivity, because versus, your local bank probably hires out somebody to actually develop their technological infrastructure like mobile banking and connections with things like Plaid and all that good stuff. Whereas, somebody like, Bank of America or, Capital One, they have literally entire probably divisions of their company devoted to not just, the development arm and the infrastructure and the digital payments and all that good stuff, but also on cybersecurity and such. So anyway, again, not promoting any bank in particular, but if you do want that rock solid reliability, definitely look at that national level bank for your cash flow account. So that's my warning on bank feeds. My name is Reed Bangert. I appreciate you spending the time with me today. And as always, make it a great one.